Hi everybody, welcome to the live of your life. It's a miracle we are live. How much time will Sorabh spend before Jamie is visible on screen? Screen, I say 10 minutes. You're not far off. Braveheart ask one. You're not far off. Jamie's been here for a while, and listen, if you're not watching this Asia Cup match, it's really exciting. As you know, very recently the Asia Cup. Earlier it was called the Jai Shah Cup, but a couple of days back, they changed the name to the Asia Cup officially. So I want to say that this is the official Asia Cup. And also want to say that Sri Lanka, the team, are really happy for them that they have taken the place of India in this India versus Pakistan final that was scheduled. So I just think it's really nice of the Sri Lankan government to step in and do this wonderful initiative. So thank you so much to Shanaka and everybody else in the Sri Lankan team for substituting Rohit Sharma and all the rest. I think it's a great job that you've done. And Abhishek Ruj has said correctly. India, aka Sri Lanka, on top with 2 early wickets. So great job to Team India. Come on, let's hear it for India, the greatest cricketing nation in the world. India is doing really well. And again, this is not one of those things which is like India versus Pakistan kind of thing. Even if like it was Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan, I would still say Sri Lanka is substituting and Afghanistan is substituting Pakistan. This is just a coincidental thing. Okay, as per reports, CFC Blue says, as per reports, fans wearing India jerseys were not allowed to enter the Dubai International Stadium towards the final between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. That can't be true, dude? Is that possible? Is that really possible? Okay, a couple of things I have to mention before we get into this exciting match. Right now, 43 for 2 is what Pakistan is. 6.5 overs. Iftikhar is there on 11 of 12, and Rizwan is batting on 17 of 23, playing one of his standard KL Rahul knocks, which I'm sure will become a better knock soon enough. If you're watching the stream, please give a like and all those nice things. Okay, a few things I have to mention. I'm an embarrassing human being. I have discovered this across a period of time. I did a quiz with Kumar Varun, which is about business. And I did it with Azim Banatwala, Shrija Chaturvedi, Kanan Gill. And I was doing really well in this quiz. And then I became an absolute idiot. So I'm going to put the link for quizzing with comedians where I said something utterly stupid in that quiz. So after this live, go ahead and watch that. I put the link right there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also, I'm going to be in Dubai this Saturday. So if you're in Dubai, please come. Saurabhpanth.com is the live. Also, a lot of you have told me to create highlights of all these reels. I finally I left OML a month back, so I have some disposable income. So I've hired a editor to do exactly that for me. So a lot of highlights are going to be popping in over the next week. There's going to be highlights for those of you who don't have time to watch 2 hours. So yeah. Mohak Joshi says that pen part was hilarious. Absolutely. I'm not going to reveal what the pen part was in Quizzing with Comedians, but that's the correctly one. Okay. Let's bring on my guest for today. He's Tinku Jiya. He's many other things. He's very popular for one of the top podcasts or lives on a platform called Glance. Please give it up for Mr. Jamie Alter. Namaskar, Mitro. Namaskar.
नमस्कार नमस्कार सूत्रों के अनुसार आज आकाश मेहता नहीं जुड़े हमारे साथ कोई बात नहीं इंडिया भी फाइनल में हमारे साथ नहीं जुड़ी है तो it's okay यार we'll manage Saurabh thanks for having me again
Listen, Jamie, it's always a pleasure. You're one of the people I can rely on to just talk nonsense about cricket for 1.5 hours, and then
I don't
occasionally
do
talk
much
about.
else Saurabh come on let's be honest I don't do much else very well so it's, yeah
Listen, by the way, are you on the side also watching England versus South Africa?
I'm actually not tuned in at all. Very strange. Normally, I would be watching that instead of an Asia Cup final, but I have actually not watched a ball. Very, very honestly. I did catch some of the Australia New Zealand ODI in the morning, though.
Oh, dude, England versus South Africa is a different vibe because I've been thinking about this. Okay, world cricket, everybody's become nicer to each other, right? Except like
Yeah.
Afghanistan versus Pakistan and then Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh. Actually, you know what? I think everybody's just nice to India right now because we have the money. But but people have become nicer. Yeah, and I think South Africa with Dean Elgar are trying to become villains of world cricket. Like they're constantly trying to project themselves as like all the other teams suck. ये baseball कुछ नहीं है तुम लोग गधे हो एक नंबर के एक दिन में पड़ा देंगे तुम लोग को and they're about to lose 2-1.
But you look at this South African team, right? इस टीम में कोई वो mean वाला बंदा है I said बंदा है ही नहीं कोई right like Dean Elgar himself is like one of the most like if he didn't have biceps and he didn't stay at the crease for like 2 days at a time when he gets set in, you think he's like a
Yeah.
librarian or a math teacher, or some guy who does like after school soccer, like तो वो लगता नहीं है. एक time था ना, you had like Albie Morkel was tall, menacing, Stain was in your face. यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. So I think it's just more of a counter. चल तू तुम्हारा baseball का हम फुस करेंगे. एक बार फुस किया, दूसरा मैच में everything was back to normal. Unfortunately, I mean, this match is only going to be 3 days. But I just hope we get a result here.
Yeah, no, oh dude, the result is about to happen if you're not following it.
I've actually not checked the last couple hours. क्या हो रहा है?
Oh my God, it is literally Ahmedabad multiplied by 1.63. Okay, because first day 17 wickets fell down. Today, South Africa, England all out, South Africa all out, and England needs whatever 110 to win, and I think they're about 35 for no loss.
And the 34 for no loss.
Yeah. That it's amazing, and I'm like, this is the ultimate ode to the Queen that the British could this thing. Yeah. Wait.
Yes, I know.
Stigit says horrendous of Helga to not see a review. What is the review? The first one right now which he did of क्या नाम है उसका Lees. That was a pretty dumb review, but I think they're just desperate now. Yeah.
Zach Kohli's batting at a strike rate of 143. Something's really off about this match.
I think they're just like trying to go ahead with this. Okay, I don't know if this is one of your references. Anyone says OML equals to only much love. Oh, okay. Oh, this is about OML. No, OML. Listen, I listen. OML they've been very nice to me. I have nothing but very good memories of working with them, and we're still friends. So much like East India Comedy, I still have friends there. It's all good, and we are still going to. It's a non-exclusive thing. I'm friends with everybody. Jamie, you know this. Off camera, we're both mortal enemies. We just pretend. We put this on,
We love cricket, yeah. And cricket must be the winner, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How's it going? Okay, I got to talk to you about first of all this match. Let's talk for a second about that first over bowled by what's the bowler's name? That the left armer.
Madhushanka.
Yeah.
Madhushan. There's Madhushanka and there's Madhushan. There's no Madhu Madhushanka. Yeah. So what did you think of that over? Because that was one of the most devastatingly, like, it was a nightmare to watch that over, man. I was like, dude, I don't want anyone. Yeah, go ahead, please. I think it was 2003 or 4. Pakistan was, I think, playing New Zealand or either Australia or New Zealand. And Mohammad Sami, आजकल तो Mohammad Shami के चर्चे हो रहे हैं. Mohammad Sami करके tear away one of the tearaway quicks. He gave some 17, 18 runs just in wide in the first over. Okay. Watching that is one of the most unparalleled, like, freakish experiences. Aaj thoda wahan ka vibes aaya because of everything that happened, So it's like, and I'm like, okay. And then when they got runs on the board off the bat, right? But to get that many runs not off the bat, I was like, yeah, this could go anywhere. So uske baad, the other guy got the 2 wickets, but that had a stage of a Mohammad Sami-like start.
Yeah, absolutely. It was crazy. Okay, Manav Avasthi says 300 likes. Karobe 268 watching and 77 likes is shameful. Manav Avasthi also, it's his story to tell. I won't tell you what's happening in his life, but yeah. Dude, I remember that Mohammad Sami over because he was the guy who had the beautiful hair and like his hair used to come like that. Yeah, oh my God, full.
पहले वो आया, फिर अपना प्रेम आया, सलमान आया. Sorry, Radhe. Sorry.
Radhe. But listen, with Madhushanka also, even when he was bowling, like, it was so interesting. Like that's when you realize the margins of everything in cricket. Okay, they literally put up a stat in like I think 3 seconds of him bowling that over, where they said the swing in the last match was 0.9, swing today is 1.6, and you are like, this is a 21-year-old kid who's like, dude, who gives a shit about 0.7 degrees swing, and that's literally what caused it. So yeah,
but just on this fact, the fact that Sri Lankan bowlers have dominated headlines, and even I'll give you full credit for this, Sorabh. You had singled out when we were on the Glan show. You had singled out Fazal Haq Farooqi, right? So lot of fast bowlers who you would not have picked going into this tournament have actually bowled some. I won't use the word spells because it's T20 and they hardly bowled 2 in a row. But there have been some fascinating overs, fascinating passages from fast bowlers. And what these Sri Lankans have done to come back from that first loss, right? is incredible. We talk about Pakistan pace, we talk about Indian pace nowadays, but Sri Lankan pace
Yeah.
bowlers, they've done the job here. I mean, I think Hasaranga is not in the top three wicket takers this time.
Dude, yeah, it's literally like, and also like, let's be honest, Babar Azam has had a Aaron Finch level of tournament so far. Like,
Absolutely.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I was going through. I mean, if you, I mean, obviously you know the story, but Aaron Finch had retired from ODI cricket, and I know it's easy to shit on him. I think he had a pretty mixed bag as a career, but these were his last 11 innings: 44, 14, 62, 0, 0, 15, 1, 5, 5, 0, 5. And I was like, dude, like, I mean, you just drop yourself. I mean, it's pretty hard
Yeah, yeah.
to sort of come back from that. Yeah.
And with Finch, Sorabh, with Finch, it has become so predictable. The amount of time, I mean, this is going on for the last probably 2.5 years, just getting bowled by the ball that comes in, right? Be it Saudi,
Yeah.
be it bold, be it Pakistan, जो भी है उसके सामने बस ball थोड़ा full डालो, ये bold होगा या तो he'll drag the ball on, so he become a walking wicket. So I think थोड़ा ये overdue decision था. I thought also he would perhaps step away from T20s because he's had a marginally better year, I think, in T20s. But just
Yeah.
the lack of runs and the mode of dismissal. But I get it. You've got a home World Cup. You're defending champions. थोड़ा अपने आप को 1-2 महीने और खिला लो. उसके बाद he'll walk off into the sunset here.
Yeah, it's and yeah, I think that's his whole plan. I think like there's going to be. I have a feeling that I mean, let's talk about India for a second. It was very interesting
हाँ,
for me to see Iftikhar bowling because यार तुम लोग ने दीपक हुड्डा को 3 मैच के लिए खिलाया, फाइनली तुमने उसको एक ओवर दिया उस मैच में जिसमें कुछ रेलेवेंस भी नहीं था, जब सब कुछ हो गया था तो पॉइंट क्या है, मतलब तुम उसको खिला क्यों रहे हो? एंड देन इफ्तिकार केम एंड बोल्ड 3 overs for 21 just because there was a left hander on strike, and I'm like, भाई थे left hander. So I like some of India's decisions in this tournament have been so ridiculous. And again, I'm a massive fan of Rohit Sharma and even Dravid the Sofa with I think his coaching has a few questions. But yeah, do you think that's a relevant point, right?
absolutely it is. And if we're talking about India, I mean, I guess we should because I mean we're Indians and we're doing a show in India and we're doing a show for Indian viewers. So थोड़ा बात करना बनता है. But I'm saying, like we talked about that day, sort of what's with the mixed signals, right? Clearly, Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid are not on the same page. That should be the
Hmm.
prerequisite for leading the biggest team in the world, right? बंदा कुछ
Yeah.
और बोलता है 24 घंटे बाद 28 घंटे बाद कोई कुछ और बोल रहा है. There's a very close appeal right now. But I'm saying it's Rishabh Pant को तुमने खिलाया तो गलत जगह पे खिलाया. You still don't know where to bat Rishabh Pant. Then you drop him. Then the guy who's a specialist finisher, you don't play him, right? I mean, bowling Bhuvneshwar in the death when you know he's a Jekyll and Hyde character. So many mixed signals. I mean, Deepak Huda, whatever got Deepak Huda into this Indian team is largely based on a very good IPL for Lucknow, where he batted predominantly at 3 and 4, right? उस
Yeah.
बंदे को तुम 7 पे खिला रहे हो. That's unfair. He's bound to fail because when the Pandyas and the Kartiks aren't doing the job, you can't really expect Huda at this stage of his career to do that, right? So they're just creating a situation where there's too many scapegoats. So it's like I'm not surprised the team didn't make the final here this time.
Yeah, I think it's also like you know what I've realized, right? With Sri Lankan cricket right now, when you think about it, उनके पूरे साइड में सिलेक्शन के लिए 22 लोग हैं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा. ठीक है, 3 लोग इंजर हो जाते हैं यहाँ पर, किसी का कुछ आउट ऑफ फॉर्म हो जाता है, whatever. So you're left with like 14 people, and like हाँ चलो ले लेते हैं. With India, okay, I was literally thinking of this. India essentially potentially has about 52 players who can be in the Indian national side and can do well, can compete and defeat other nations. So India's had a buffet, and you've just come from a long run. You've had a 21-kilometer run. You've not eaten for 2 days prior to that, and you're like, सबको खा जाते हैं. यहाँ मैं पनीर के अंदर सुशी डालेगा, मैं चॉकलेट मूस के साथ गुलाब जामुन डालेगा, मैं विस्की के अंदर जाके वसाबी डालेगा, कुछ भी करेगा मैं. So that I think that's what's happened with us, where we have so many options that we've lost our bloody minds.
But वही बात है ना, so many options, and then you couldn't pick like the proper 11, right? So it's I
Yeah.
look at it. I mean, I get your point, but यार, you Bumrah nahi hai, Harshal Patel nahi hai. That was the first sign to drop a spinner, drop an all-rounder, and play 2 more fast bowlers. Right? You picked 3 fast bowlers, 3, and Hardik Pandya, who as good a year as he's had, as tremendous as he was in the IPL and briefly leading India, वो आपका मेन बॉलर नहीं है. He's not going to give you four, look at this Asia Cup. He had that one outstanding match when he bounced out Pakistan. भाई उसका कोटा हो गया इस साल का. वो दोबारा ये नहीं कर पाएगा ना. So despite having these plethora of players, तुम 11 नहीं कर पाए, right? It's like Vipul Goyal was saying that day. तुम्हारे पास 4 लैपटॉप है, तुम उस 4 लैपटॉप से तुम एक ड्रीम 11 की टीम नहीं बना पा रहे हो ना. तो भैया गड़बड़ है मामला.
Absolutely. By the way, I don't know, कुछ अपील चल रहा है and Rizwan is stretching out.
अच्छा एक बात बताओ, you Sorabh and also all these people who are joined on this show, हर मैच में ये रिजवान और शादाब खान का कुछ होता है, ठीक है?
हाँ.
चल क्या रहा है? It's just time wasting tactics, boss.
Dude, but also like, I mean, I okay, maybe time wasting tactics, but like he's also like, I think, okay, in the South Africa versus England wala match, okay, Stokes is not playing T20 cricket, right? He's not in the T20 World Cup squad.
He's finally come back in the squad after like 3 years. He's in the squad, yes.
Okay. So I assume that Stokes is so good that they are like, you to October 15 को भी तैयार हो जाएगा, तुझे खिलाएंगे, कोई टेंशन नहीं है.
चलेगा.
So right now he's bloody struggling to bowl and he's still bowling. Right, like he's still like वो गिर रहा है वहां पर, उसके पेट में दर्द है, उसके सब जगह दर्द है, some his penis is falling off, like all sorts of things are happening to him and he's still bowling, and I feel the same way. Like I completely respect that. I'm a big fan of that, and I think I'm a big fan of this Rizwan character also. I don't know, maybe it's a nervous tick that he keeps doing, but like so far, if he's going through so many injuries, it's a lot. But I want to talk, okay, before we come to what happened with Shadab Khan, let's take a few comments because I have to say this. ये मैं लाइव करने नहीं वाला था, ठीक है? मैंने अपने YouTube ये communities में I did a survey. I asked people, I'm like, hey, how many people want to see a live? And 65% of you said yes. So this is happening all because of you. Yeah. So all of you watching, thanks a lot. And also I have to say, dude, I was going through the highlights of some of the previous videos, and some of the comments in this channel are funnier than the comedians on the channel, including me. So I just have to say, great job, guys. You have defeated us. This is open mic night. So keep your comments coming. Keep the nonsense coming. Keep some of the comments that we can't say, such as Rishabh Pant can't hit the stumps. How can he hit on Cougars? All that kind of stuff. Great ridiculous lines. Keep them coming. And so, yeah. I want to take a couple of questions that have been coming in. Abhishek Root says, Shadab will win the game for Pakistan, considering his acting in the first innings. क्या acting किया रहे हो? What is it? Do you know what the reference is?
Catch लेते समय 2 बार गिरा वो. Second time he hobbled off.
Okay. Okay. And then Stijit says, even Wasim bowled a similar over against New Zealand once. Wasim Akram you're talking about. Do you remember this over?
Wasim Akram का तो याद नहीं है. Unless it was, I mean, if Stijit says so, then I'll go for. मुझे तो याद नहीं है.
like हाँ वो बोल रहा है तो होगा यार, ठीक है? स्तिजित बोल रहा है भाई, स्तिजित, स्तिजित वो बोल रहा है. Okay, so that's there. And then CFC Blues has been asking this for a long time. Brahmastra review, Jamie.
पागल है क्या? मैं इधर क्रिकेट देखने आता था यार. CFC में चेल्सी वाले ना, इनको अब हमेशा कुछ कूट-पटांग करने का. जिसने पहले पूछा मैंने वही जवाब दिया चैट पे. पागल है क्या? आ जाएगा OTT पे यार, चिल करो.
Okay, then this is a pertinent question. Rosiki says, where is the newly married guy? Newly married guy is Akash Mehta. Akash Mehta has sent me a message saying, I have fallen sick. My immediate dad joke to him was, have you fallen in love sick? Because he just got married. And his response to me was, hey, Sorabh, why don't you jump off a balcony? And I'm like, no, there are railings there. I can't jump over them. It's very tough. He didn't say that, but I'm just making it up. But he's fallen ill, apparently. He can't walk to the toilet. So his wife is in for a tough night of cleaning up his bed. So he's not going to be here. But we might have Sridhar dropping in. We might also have Gurkirat, who works with cricket.com and all that stuff. If he has time, he'll also pop in. So few people have asked. Rachit Gupta says, just 58 runs for Babar in this Asia Cup, and he says this too shall pass. Absolutely.
Did he actually say that this too shall pass? मुझे बताओ यार, Rachit Gupta, सच बताओ.
अरे वो बोला ना विराट कोहली का. I think that's the reference.
अच्छा.
हाँ, वो that tweet that he did to Virat Kohli,
अच्छा,
he said,
okay.
this too shall pass.
हमें 2 दिन पहले का याद नहीं है, तुम 2 महीने पहले का ट्वीट बता रहे हो. But this Babar's form is like Inzamam level of form in the 2003 World Cup. He averaged like 4.5 or something. So होता है.
Yeah.
This too shall actually pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a very serious question. Again, everybody's pointed this out. Gandhar says Dinesh Karthik bowled more balls than he faced in this Asia Cup, which is, I think he faced one ball and he bowled six. Okay. Which is hilarious. But the second thing, this is a pertinent question. I didn't see it. I didn't see that part because I was on a flight. How was DK's bowling? Did you see it? I didn't see it. How was his bowling?
I have seen Rahul Dravid bowl in a test match. I've seen Wasim Jafar bowl in a test match. I've seen VVS Lakshman bowl in a test match. This was worse than all of that. I mean, I think who was batting? Ibrahim Zadran was batting, and Sorabh, I think he hit 2 sixes in the first three balls, and he was talking
Yeah.
to Pant, and I'm guaranteed he was saying to Pant, अरे इसको थोड़ा पहले ले आता तो मैं भी 100 मारता है इस बेकार मैच में यार. But jokes apart, this is problematic कि जिस बंदे को, and I'll tell you, I'm very open about this. I've been rather critical about DK's recall. I don't think at 37 you should be going to that kind of player. But when he's ticked the
Yeah.
boxes in your criteria, when he's done the job pretty well on comeback, and he's specialized for that job, आपने उसको
हाँ.
बाहर बैठा के उसी रोल के लिए पंत और हुडा को दिया, and he faced that one ball and then he bowls. It's like they took this tournament far too lightly, bhai.
Yeah. Okay. Here is a completely random thought that I had. You think that because of the IPL, right? The stress of winning the IPL is a lot in general. Let's obviously accept that. Do you think because of that, like the stress of winning the IPL, and then over and above that, there's a stress of winning whatever other nonsense. Do you think because of that the intensity sometimes drops off, or do you think
It's
that they put too much pressure, or like what is it? Which one of those is it?
no, it's a valid question slash point you raise. I remember during the 2019 World Cup, South Africa were once again between a rock and a hard place. They were facing New Zealand at Edgbaston. Edgbaston is the ground where they choked in that 99 semi-final. Okay,
Yeah.
Quinton de Kock rocks up. Quinton de Kock rocks up for the press conference, and he's one of the questions he's asked is, "You guys are again in this highly stressful situation. How do you cope?" And he doesn't blink, and he says, "I think the IPL final is far more of a pressure cooker situation." Okay, now that time we all like, "Arey ye Goru, ye kya bola usne?" But now
Huh.
when you spend time thinking about what you just said, it probably is a factor. Is it a determining factor? I don't know. But because the pressure from the sponsor, from the owner is far more. The
Yeah.
BCI would never say, "Bhai, tumko jeetna." Indian teams do not like being favorites. Whenever India has gone
Yeah.
into a tournament being favorite, rarely have they come off with any trophy, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but conversely, Saurabh, आपके पास कोई excuse नहीं है ऐसे tournaments जीतने के लिए भाई, because you have the IPL. 2 IPLs have been played in these conditions. I've been told on my channel and on social media, अरे इंडिया के पास experience नहीं है दुबई का. कौन बोला ऐसा यार? 2 IPL वहां पे हो चुके हैं. Last year you had the World Cup there, T20 World Cup. I just think it just comes down to bad selection. Of course, missing Bumrah and Harshal Patel. Just bad
Yeah.
selection and too many experiments 3 weeks before the freaking World Cup, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. It's again. I'm telling you, it's this whole like we have too much right now. We've gotten completely distracted with everything. Where we're like, इतने सारे लोग हैं तो कर ही लेते हैं ना कुछ साथ में. And I'm like, I think India really needs to like, and what I enjoy completely about this whole format right now is how batters are considered so revered that nobody messes with them. The
Yeah,
top four
absolutely.
are just out of question. It's like, हाँ, रोहित शर्मा, केएल राहुल, विराट कोहली, स्काई, उनको तो छूने का ही नहीं है, उनका कुछ है ही नहीं. And then Hardik is confirmed and Bumrah is confirmed. Everybody else, you're like, करते हैं कुछ भी. And you're like, dude, no, man. You need time for a bowler also to settle. You also need time for DK to figure out how to bloody be a finisher. So, I mean, I understand the experimentation, but keep it to about 14 players and then fuck around with that.
Also, just to pick up on what you just said about these batsmen being revered, right? I'm sure
हाँ.
you're aware. I don't know how many of your viewers are aware. पिछले T20 World Cup के बाद से जहाँ पे इंडिया की बैंड बज चुकी थी, right? From that
हाँ.
World Cup about 10 months ago until the start of this Asia Cup, like 2 weeks ago, the revered status quo top three of Rohit, KL Rahul, and Virat Kohli had not played a single T20 match, right? So on the one hand,
Yeah.
you're saying कि बीच में जो भी करे, पंत खेले, सूर्या खेले, फलाना डिमकाला खेले, शिखर धवन आके खेले, सौरभ पंत और जेमी आके खेले, वर्ल्ड कप में हम तो इन तीनों से ओपनिंग कराएंगे. That is problematic because KL Rahul until the Asia Cup 8.5 months into this year, Sorabh and our viewers, had not played a single T20 match. You knew he had surgery. You know he had rehab, right? Then Virat Kohli had played 4 of 24 matches before. You were playing these guys purely on status and reputation. Now, Virat Kohli can walk away saying, nah, I got my first 100, right? And I've got 280 runs. ठीक है. KL Rahul will point to what? I got runs in a match where I only played because Rohit Sharma chose rest against the Afghanistan team, which 15 hours ago had played the match of their life against Pakistan. So let's look at things, objectively, bhai. Don't revere these batsmen. Bowler की बात तो दूर है. I'm on the same page. But revering batsmen and making mistakes with batsmen, मैं बोल अगर ये top 3 जाएगा अभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया ना, भैया वर्ल्ड कप भूल जाओ. मैं यहाँ कह रहा हूँ तुम्हारे शो पे.
I agree a little bit. But okay, here's the thing. Let's just give updates on the score. They're 74 for 2 and they require about what, 96
लग गया. Now it's 80.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, how much do they need? They need 71, 26, 20. So 91 basically. Then they need 91 and 9, which is doable.
Unless there's a great stroke like against Afghanistan.
Yeah. Stejit says Manjrekar was more clueless behind the mic than Madhu Shankar with the ball in the opening over. Dude, Manjrekar, okay, I saw him talk to Naseem Shah. He tells Naseem Shah, आपकी अच्छी bowling थी, आखिरी वाला ओवर उसके बारे में तो बात करते नहीं है, पर आपका पहला ओवर कैसा गया? And I'm like, why would you ask? Like, come on, man. Why would you just stop putting people on defensive constantly, man. Like, your first question is just to say, hey, you sucked in that last over, but let's move on. I'm like, dude, come on. Yeah. Just say us. But you know what? I completely enjoy. Here is my conspiracy, okay, Jamie. Okay, I was discussing this with Gurkirat also, where it's like, I think the commentators, I think the BCCI and whoever's in charge of all this stuff, they enjoy that we are sometimes angry with these commentators, because end में पूरी दुनिया कंटेंट पे चलती है आजकल, तो देयर लाइक, हाँ कोई कंटेंट बना रहा है कि भाई मंजरेकर क्या है एटसेट्रा.
बिल्कुल सही है. They need this, and I'm sure a lot of it is not, it's not a faux pas, it's not a mistake a lot of times, because I won't take name, but I've seen these things behind the scenes, in newsrooms and in studios and places like Crick Info and stuff. Not all of them come, walk up to the studio having done their homework, right? So they leave a lot of room for that slip and that unintentional, screw up. But in a social media era, this works perfectly, Everything is now judged by likes and retweets and shares. So absolutely, I'm on the same page with you here.
Correct. Okay. Okay, we have a few super chats that have popped in. Wow, finally. And also, a lot of you said change the background to the Dubai Cricket Stadium. And after having done 5 live streams about the Dubai ground, on the last one, I've finally done it, guys. Come on. I'm always late to the party. Yeah. Okay. Aditya Madhuri says, thanks for your super chat, says, how do you see the future of cricket, like football, where club games take precedence over international games? And is 3 formats sustainable? I think that's a question everybody's asking. I think we both know what the answer is. And the answer is, of course, we've done the Super 10s, 20s. We've done 100. We've done 60. The future of cricket is the 5s. 5 balls, each team played across 4 minutes. And that's all cricket. What do you think, Jamie?
I think we don't even need to go that far. I think this Asia Cup, last year's T20 World Cup, and the 2 IPL have showed that it should be called toss ka boss. Yeah, toss jeeta hai, wo match jeeta hai. Khatam karo. We can make a lot of money, a lot of Dream 11s, a lot of all these apps can function on the toss. ठीक है भाई.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, just to get serious, I think 3 formats are sustainable. I think while we joke about it, we take it lightheartedly. That day may not be too far down the line when you actually have a separate window for international cricket. Okay, given the amount of leagues that are popping up.
Yeah. And it's honestly, it's natural, man. Like, I mean, even with football, who gives a shit? Like, if Argentina is playing Brazil also, you're like, who cares? This is not whatever. League. I don't La Liga, whatever the shit it is. I don't know. Yeah. But again, listen, I hate to belabor a point, but again, for fuck's sake, you've won the toss and you're about to win the match. It's honestly, it's boring as shit, dude. Like, even if India was in the final and in this position, I would be saying the same thing. I'm not saying this as a bitter person. Listen, if India was in the final, I would be saying this happier. But it's like, hey, India won the toss, we won the match because those are rules. Come on, guys, get with it. But this is ridiculous. It's honestly, it's so stupid, dude. Like the legends road safety cricket has more competition than this.
And more fans watching also. I watched about 5 hours yesterday after a few friends pinged on WhatsApp saying, अरे यार सचिन क्या कवर ड्राइव मार रहा है. मैंने कहा चलो आजकल कोई इंडियन बैट्समैन
Yeah,
कवर ड्राइव मार रहा है तो ये देखने वाले लायक है क्योंकि और कोई नहीं मार रहा आजकल. I went to watch it. Kanpur was like packed, dude. I was like, what is going on? I mean,
yeah.
Nitini looked like Morgan Freeman. Johan van der Vaart looked like Billy Joel. The other guy looked like he was like like back from the dead, like Undertaker. But packed house,
Yeah.
yeah, easy.
Dude, and I think they have only, like, I was checking because my son is always interested in cricket. I think they're playing matches only in Kanpur and I think Dehradun and one more place. I've forgotten the third place. It's just three, and it's a long bloody tournament, dude. It's a very long tournament. It's got like some 30 matches of, like, I don't know, some like I would say, and I really listen. I watched it for 5 minutes, okay, and it's really funny because they have to validate at some stage that this is about road safety. Okay, so they just cut over to one of the team players, and she's like, deaths are happening because of road safety, and you should take care of driving. And I'm like, dude, is that this is the time? This is the time in the middle of a cricket match. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I should drive safely, ma'am. Thank you so much for your great bit of advice.
And okay, so you're talking about road safety. Match कहाँ हो रहा है? कानपुर में, ठीक है? So okay, उधर अरे उधर कट्टा चलता है, तमंचा चलता है, पुलिस वाला खुद इंसान से भाग रहा है. So let's get real, okay? But just to pick up your point, in the 5 hours I watched, they actually zoomed across the crowd and they got one guy. He was wearing a helmet, okay? And the commentator was making the point that इसको दे helmet पहन रहा है. और मैं बोल रहा है माँ की आंख ये बंदा. He's one guy stuck between 1,500 other dudes. Why is he wearing a helmet? Total plug
Yeah.
for road safety series.
Dude, you know how in the IPL they have that car, right? Where if you hit the car, you get 6. Right? In this, it should be hit the car, you're out of the fucking tournament. Because this is about road safety. You don't hit the car. You must respect the car.
You try
You
to
piece of shit.
hit that one guy and 25,000 people wearing a helmet. You'll get
Yeah.
5 crores right there from Jay Shah.
And also, this is a very legit point. Okay, Gandhar says, team named legends have half the players who didn't even play 10 matches. Dude, agreed. Some of these players, I'm like, who? Like, okay, listen, I know people will start making jokes about Stuart Binney, but listen, perfectly honest with you, Stuart Binney is a legend because he's got 6 for 4. He's got the best ODI figures by an Indian ever. And so, irrespective of what you say, that dude's got the best figures for an Indian on ODI. So, fuck that. He's a legend. He's in the legendary status because of just that figure. So, completely,
Absolutely.
yeah.
He's got that. And I mean, I think that was a one-day match. Bhuvneshwar came very close to getting 6 for 4 the other day. But look, you can't take that. And I watched that match. I think that was Taskin Ahmed got like 5 for nothing as well. So India was struggling. It was a damn pitch. It was not some one-sided demolition. India's batting also was pretty poor. Bangladesh Pacers bowled well. On the day, he's got the figures. So hats off to him. You can't take that away from him. He's got to India honors here.
Complete. Okay. Again, so Pakistan now 91 for 213 overs. Iftikhar batting very like solidly right now. They're still batting a run on like sort of about 100 ka strike rate. And Madhushan is back after taking those 2 wickets. I had a question here somewhere. Do you think with I mean, this is easily achievable, right? 8 wickets in hand, you need about 10 runs in over. It doesn't seem like
I would say yes, but yeah, it's Pakistan. Itni baar maine dekha is team ko, like I during this tournament I was not watching the non-India matches, but I tuned in to watch Pakistan's chase against Afghanistan because I was 100% sure that they're going to do something spectacular, and clearly the message was not given to Naseem Shah who hit those 2 sixes. Otherwise, I mean, that was a collapse of epic proportions. But yeah, I mean, look, 2 well-set batsmen. It's going to go down to the wire. I think Sri Lanka might win by 2-3 runs still. But yeah, I mean, 78 or 41, they should. I don't know. It's Pakistan, man. I won't say anything until it's over. Kuch nahi keh sakte inke saath.
Okay, so we have 2 contradictory statements coming in. Shweta says Pakistan will win it in the 18th over, and anyone says, Pakistan is losing. That's it. How? No details. They're just losing.
Anyone and everyone. Pakistan is loosen.
Yeah. Okay. I got to ask you this. I discovered this guy called Chacha Cricket very recently. He was a Pakistani ex cricketer. Do you know who this is?
Ex cricketer bhi hai kya tha wo? You mean that big fan, right? The guy who's been there forever.
I think he is. When I read his thing, Chaudhry Abdul Jalil, famously known as Chacha Cricket, he's a Pakistani mascot. I don't know why I read that he's for some
अरे वो
reason I
छोड़ो,
thought
out
he
हो गया,
was like
Sorabh out हो गया. The joke's on.
okay. Let's
Iftikhar is
see.
gone.
Oh wow,
But yeah,
dude,
yeah. So
Madhushan once again, man.
he's been there. He's been there
Oof.
forever. Like I've seen him since the '90s. He still looks the same. Hats off to whatever he's eating, drinking, smoking. He looks about the same. But that's his name, Abdul Khan Kafal, whatever it is.
Yeah, so they basically asked him. They asked him. Some guy asked him कि कई लोग बोल रहे हैं कि बाबर आजम का फॉर्म खराब हो रहा है क्योंकि उसने विराट कोहली के साथ हाथ मिलाए. एंड चाचा
Oh.
चाचा क्रिकेट सेज नहीं ये सब दोस्ती और प्यार के बारे में होना चाहिए और इससे कुछ नहीं होता. But I would love to explore this for a second. Okay, just hear me out. Before the tournament, they shook hands and their form has changed. It's like Virat became Babar Azam for this thing, and Babar Azam became Virat. So, do you think there's any truth to the handshake? And is that, and to add to this question, is that why at the end of the match the players shake hands because the winning team is like, hey, next time maybe you'll become us, or am I? Yeah,
Look, Saurabh, I think in a post-COVID world, anything is possible. Like nothing would surprise me. But look, you have
yeah,
to ask the question, right? I mean, Babar Azam has been ticking off records. Virat Kohli's been struggling. Babar Azam been number one in this format for a long time. People are saying that the T20 format is Kohli's worst format. And then one handshake and things change. But like our friend reminded us, was it Siddhi who said, okay, this too shall pass though. Yeah, ये होता है, ठीक है. And
yeah,
I think the jhatka that Virat Kohli got for 2 years is nothing
yeah,
compared to the jhatka that Babar Azam will get. And if Babar Azam's team wins the tournament, he's not going to worry about किससे हाथ मिलाया, कहाँ run गया, as long as you win the trophy. यार, ठीक है यार. How many runs did Sunil Gavaskar score in the 1983 World Cup? Like 10 runs, okay?
yeah.
But he's a World Cup winner, यार, ठीक है, चलता है.
हाँ कुछ भी चलेगा बनाओ 2 रन बनाओ क्या फर्क पड़ता है I mean it's the Owen Morgan, it's the Aaron Finch, it's like hey like captains don't necessarily need to perform with whatever as long as the team
बिल्कुल
is
सही,
winning, who gives a shit. Okay, I'm so
बिल्कुल.
sorry. I got to go for 12 seconds because my phone, my laptop is about to go, and I've been WhatsApping my wife to get me my laptop charger, but
जाओ
she's not
जाओ, I'll hold
responding.
down the fort. जाओ 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 जाओ.
Just give me 1 minute. I'm coming back.
आराम से. See how his 12 seconds became 1 minute, guys. बताइए कोई comments है, कुछ सवाल है तो पूछिए मेरे लिए यहाँ से. It is 95 for 3. They need 76 of 38 balls. Like I just said to Sorabh a few minutes ago, Pakistan team के साथ कुछ भी हो सकता है. I would not be surprised if they collapse in a heap and Sri Lanka hold on to this match to win by 3-4 runs. Anything is possible. But I think दोस्तों जो हमने पूरा tournament में देखा है, there's been a lot of close matches, and this final I think it should be close. He's back.
Yeah, man, I'm a very swift guy. I was going to start telling my wife, hey, you check everybody's WhatsApp messages except mine. But then I'm like, let's not say that on stream. And then I've come and said it on the stream directly. But do you think choke is on or do you think choke is not on?
I think it's on. Because
You
this
think it's on,
Pakistan middle
huh?
order has been untested, right? Babar, Rizwan, and
Yeah.
Fakhar Zaman have scored the majority of the runs in the last year. Look at the last T20 World Cup also, right? Since the Maliks went out, since the senior players went out, I mean, Asif Ali is a tremendous finisher, but wo kitna karega, you know? If the car is here and there, I just think their middle order is slightly raw. So I think the joke's on, but that's just me.
Dude, also, I was checking the stats of both the players on both sides, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. It's very interesting because you see the numbers of like all the batters, and it doesn't compare at all to Indian batters. You're
No, it
like,
does
bhai,
not.
like the strike rate is 122 or whatever the hell it is. And I remember there was that point where I think Wasim Akram was going on about Mushfiqur. What's his name? What's his name?
Mushfiqur
Mushfiqur.
Rahim.
Mush. Yeah,
Mushfiqur Rahim.
he
Huh?
was talking about he's talking about his strike rate being 115 and he's like that's not enough, blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, I think in both sides of Sri Lanka and Pakistan, I was seeing the stats, it's not great. And I'm like, that's interesting.
And also, sort of, just to add on this, a lot of the stats are sort of jumbled up because India, before this Asia Cup, had played 24 T20 matches. Okay, is Sal. Pakistan had played a total of 6 since the T20 World Cup semi-final last year, and this year, before the Asia Cup, they played one T20 match. They played a buttload of Test matches, ODIs. So it's a surprise the teams even in the final. They played one T20. We played 24. There was no excuse for us not to be in the final, boss. The team that played one is in the final. So when the batsmen aren't playing the format, stats to kam hi honge na.
It's also kind of interesting where it's like if I think like Parthiv Patel and all these guys were going on and on talking about Mohammad Shami, right? And
Yeah,
after a point, I'm like, "Arey ho gaya re, nahi khelne ka usko rehn do na." But here's my question: Bumrah is not. If Bumrah is not fit, if Bumrah is
sure.
not fit, do you bring Siraj or Shami into the mix, or you're like, "Nahi"?
Okay, so here's my thing. This is if Gurkirat were here, he would back me up on this. And I want to know what your viewers also feel on this. Guys, let me know. Mohammad Shami has played 60 test matches, utter warhorse. I think he's played 80 something one days. He's played 17 T20 matches, Sorabh, in 9 years of career. Okay. That
Wow.
to me ends the debate there. अब इसने मत बोलना कि oh the selectors didn't pick. If he was good in T20s, he would have played 35 to 50 20 matches, right? He's not a
Yeah.
natural T20 bowler. Do not get swayed by the odd good IPL season here and there. His economy in T20 international at the death is 9.54 and his death over strike rate is 173. He's not a death overs bowler. A couple IPL seasons, haan, theek hai. Simple thing is, Shami is not played since the last T20 World Cup, where he bowled pretty badly, barring one match, I think against Namibia or one of those dead or matches, right? So if he was in your scheme, you would have played him, right? So to answer your question, if you're giving me Shami and Siraj only, I would go for Siraj. But uske aage, I would before these two guys, I go for Deepak Chahar.
Yeah.
Usko lao na.
No, I
Shami
agree,
is
but I
not
think
a T20 bowler, boss.
I actually think that somebody said Bumrah is fit. I don't even know that if Bumrah is fit.
No, he's apparently
I'm,
he's fit. He's resumed bowling, but let's not
uh,
expect that Bumrah comes back. Bumrah's not had a very good last year. Let's also accept that, right? So don't
hmm,
expect a guy जिसका थोड़ा उतार चढ़ाव हुआ है white ball form में, who's coming off a break to come back and bowl full tilt. I hope he
yeah.
plays these two series we have at home, and I hope he does well in Australia. I think he will do well in Australia, but let's keep our expectations really low right now from these guys here.
Well, okay, this is a very good proposition that's coming from anyone who says bring Amarnath. Now, do you think that India should bring Mohinder Amarnath, or I would even say Amarnath? Should we revitalize Lala Amarnath? Because again, the thing is that even if you bring back Lala Amarnath, the most legendary Indian cricketers of all time, but
Absolutely.
I think he'll have to go through like I'm not sure he'll clear the yo-yo test. Let's be perfectly honest. Like I think he'll do well, but
I
what do you
think
think?
given I think given the amount of time the great Lala Amarnath spent traveling from country to country by ship, he would naturally
Yeah.
not make it to the yo-yo test. But look, Mohinder Amarnath, just for the cameo he played in '83, I would no, it dropped short. Just for
Yeah,
the
he dropped shot.
cameo that Lala Amarnath played, I would definitely consider him. And what he lacks in pace, viewers, he makes up with that voice. And I was very disappointed many years ago when he was not picked as the coach, despite his laptop not starting at the Taj Hotel on time in Chennai, because he would start every session with
Is this a real story?
quit. Yeah. He says my laptop not starting. Either Taj Mumbai or Taj Chennai. But Lala Amarnath, Lala Amarnath would start every practice session of the Indian team with a round of Antakshari and Parathe. That would go a long way to get him selected. Yeah.
Is that an actual thing?
No, I'm the way he is. "Oh,
Yeah.
Gana Gao ya
Yeah.
Badshah, Gana Gao, oh, Lara Lappa, Lara Lappa." That would be his coaching style.
It's a great coaching style, dude. Yeah, yeah.
I love it,
Abhi
dude. I love it.
some news came that Rahul Dravid has said that you have to have a strict diet. I'm like, well, that's normal nowadays. But like these cricketers, maybe they'll revel with like, hey, aloo ka paratha khao aur antakshari khelte, chill ma. It's better than playing football and skiing or whatever the shit Jadeja did before getting injured. How did Jadeja get injured? So, he got some skiing. What the fuck was he
I don't know
actually
if
doing?
it's skiing. No, 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 it wasn't skiing, but he was doing something. But I'm saying there's been ample uh, cases of people getting hurt doing something. When Sunil Gavaskar rants half time, I don't listen. But when he rants about
Yeah,
this football being played before a cricket match, football players
yeah,
don't play cricket before a match. No. तो क्यों हो
yeah,
रहा
yeah,
है
yeah.
यार ये, right?
100% agree. It's absolutely stupid. Okay, 102 for 3, 5 overs left. Getting critical now, man. I think they are up to about 13 runs and over.
Choke, choke,
Um,
choke, 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 choke,
oh my,
choke.
ये तो सच में choke हो रहा है रे. And also, I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Like Rizwan has played a very critical knock for Sri Lanka. I'm
Oi,
a
oi,
big
oi,
fan of
oi, oi,
Rizwan.
oi, oi, oi.
कोई बोला out हुआ.
Nawaz.
Yeah.
Nawaz caught a deep fine leg bouncer from Karuna Ratne.
Dude,
Chok de, chok
I'm such a
de.
big fan of Karuna Ratne because वो श्रीलंका बांग्लादेश मैच हुआ और
Oh, bhai
सबके
sahab.
सब अवॉइड कर रहे हैं कि भाई नागिन डांस नहीं करने का है एंड ही इज इन द साइड लाइक एक तो करना
हर
पड़ेगा
बार बार
सो
करता है वो.
एक तो करना पड़ेगा वी हैव टू शो सो करुणा रत्ने हैज गॉट
Nawaz.
नवाज आउट व्हिच इंडिया मस्ट बी वाचिंग एंड गोइंग लाइक अच्छा ऐसे करते हैं क्या इसको आउट सो ओके Karan C says Jaddu twisted ankle by ski boarding.
अच्छा ski
Surfboarding, I
boarding.
think.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair
Oh.
enough. I was not.
नहीं स्की बोर्डिंग की कोई बोल रहा है सर्फ बोर्डिंग कोई बोल रहा है क्या पर ये क्या क्या कर रहे हो यार तुम लोग मतलब
अरे
सच
दुबई में
में
सब चलता है यार वहाँ पे there's artificial snow all this stuff वही होगा फिर.
अरे पर बुर्ज खलीफा भी है ना तो उससे कूदने का जरूरत नहीं है ना तुम लोग को
नहीं वो
तुम
टॉम क्रूज
टूर्नामेंट
करता है
के बीच
सिर्फ.
में हो
वो टॉम
हाँ
क्रूज
that's
करता
what
है.
I'm saying. Listen, unless Ravinder Jadeja is part of Mission Impossible 9 and he's playing the stunt double for Tom Cruise, I mean, which I think is a likely possibility because I know Tom Cruise is a very fit man, but he can't do that whole thing with Jadeja does with the back like that. So for that they'll
वो
bring
तो
in
सिर्फ
Jadeja. Yeah. So unless
राजपूत.
barring that, what are they doing? Like, why are they doing all this shit? Like, I understand that okay, you're bored in Dubai, go play a bloody video game, man. Go like watch something. Why are you going doing shit? Like, this is such a. I read this today and I was genuinely getting angry because I'm like, this is stupid. What a
It
stupid
is.
reason to get out.
ये लोग serious नहीं है यार. It's it it's been said in jest, but there's actually seriousness to it. पाकिस्तान में भाई साहब गदर लेवल का फ्लडिंग चल रहा है. श्रीलंका में
हाँ.
एक साल से पॉलिटिकल टर्मोइल चल रहा है, फाइनेंशियल टर्मोइल चल रहा है, लोड शेडिंग चल रहा है. हमारे यहाँ क्या चल रहा है? अरे बॉयकॉट बॉलीवुड. These guys are taking life too easily, यार. Our guys, that's it. There's no strife. There's no perspective. They're living in bubbles. वैसी they're living in financial bubbles. They're pampered players, boss. इनको झटका दो ये तभी वर्ल्ड कप जीत पाएंगे. They're bilateral bullies and nothing else, boss. Sorry.
Yeah, at the moment, completely agree. Why are they pulling them off? Why is the coach screaming about pulling them off? Something these things come or look at me or something. I don't know what he's talking about. अच्छा चल
Is
रहा है
that
भाई क्या इतना ये
is
ऋषभ
that
पंत का
Rishabh
एक्टिंग क्यों
Pant?
कर रहा
Is that Rishabh Pant and Praveen Amre doing it? I was
है
talking to
ऋषभ
मैंने
पंत
देखा नहीं. And
can you imagine
मैंने
ऋषभ
देखा
पंत gets on
चल
the
चेक मारते हैं यार चल.
Rishabh Pant gets out of the tournament and he's like immediately going to coaching Sri Lanka. he's like जीत रहे यार रहने दो नहीं जीतने का आज. Okay, we have a lot of comments popping in. Okay, one of them recently
Yes,
was
please.
Varun Kumar says Mall of the Emirates में skateboarding कर रहा था. भाई, okay, listen, I'm not doing a plug here, but I'm doing a show at Mall of the Emirates at the theater and Mall of the Emirates. It's a 500 seater. I have never been more intimidated by a venue in my life. We sold like some 200 tickets right now. So if you're in Dubai, come for the show. I promise that I will not injure myself like Jadeja. So come for that this thing. And anyone says Lala Amarnath, Sorabh does an amazing Lala impression. What can? No, that's Mohinder Amarnath. I spoke about this. Mohinder Amarnath. I think we've spoken about this, Jamie, where there was India versus South Africa. I think Mohinder Amarnath was trying commentary for the first time, or one of his first stints. And I don't know which South African cricketer took a beautiful catch. Okay. And it's an amazing, like, beautiful diving catch like that. And this is something which, as a broadcaster, is not allowed, which is there was dead air for 4 seconds. Okay. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Mohinder Amarnath just says, "What a catch." I laughed so much because what that communicated was so much a shock. But they're like, ये तो allowed नहीं है. ऐसे कैसे फील्डिंग कर रहे हो तुम लोग? शर्म नहीं आती तुम लोग को?
I think I've heard
So
this
yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, 102 for 4. Getting critical now, but looks like a choke. Did you see Urvashi Rautela Naseem's story? Did you see it?
नहीं यार, but something popped up on the. क्या हुआ क्या? He said, I don't know who she is, something like that, na?
What happened was that Urvashi Rautela was at the stadium and Naseem Shah was bowling or something like that and celebrating his
नहीं
bowling and then
वैसे
cuts
वैसे
to
वो
Urvashi.
और क्या करती है भाई? मुझे बताओ.
अरे बहुत एक्टिंग करती है भाई. अरे listen, okay, listen, let me turn you into a Urvashian, okay? She's amazing. She's amazing. She's outstanding. She did a movie right now called, and we're talking about Legend of Cricket and all this nonsense. She did a movie right now called Legend, which is starring a guy who runs a chain of very top department stores in Tamil Nadu, and he's financed a whole movie. And she allegedly or apparently got paid 20 crore rupees for this movie, Jamie. 20 crore rupees. So if you say Urvashi doesn't do anything, what have you done with your life, Jamie? Become a Urvashian today.
चलो ठीक है 20 करोड़ मिले होंगे. Still hasn't answered my question. What did she do? But ठीक है अच्छा ठीक है. I'm getting my remote box is going off. 1 second, हाँ.
Yeah, Anurag Sinha says हमारी प्यारी cougar दीदी. what a weird sentence that is. Dude. Okay. And Rizwan has just done a beautiful sweep and hit a 6. George says he hit a 12. This Rizwan is ridiculous, man. I think both these sides have these two guys who've been doing a lot of finishing. I mean, Rizwan more than Shanaka, of course, but 54 or 47.
But you said at the start that Rizwan will basically do a KL Rahul with some better returns or something. No?
Yeah. That's basically all it is, right?
24 में 60 कहाँ से बनेंगे यार बताओ. The last ball was good, yeah.
That was a good ball. But yeah, काफी मुश्किल है. But also, I mean, let's be perfectly honest. I understand that Rizwan plays these kind of knocks for Pakistan, but they have dug themselves into a hole here right now, man.
They absolutely have, and like I was saying earlier, इनकी batting बीच में थोड़ी हालत खराब है batting की, and you cannot expect Naseem Shah to hit 2 sixes again, na? And Sri Lanka's bowling has been very impressive this tournament, yaar. So, yeah, I think it's 61 of 24, very very tough here. आसिफ अली के ऊपर बहुत डिपेंड है.
अभी तो खुश दिल है.
खुश दिल, पर इसका दिल खुश नहीं होगा इस ओवर के अंदर, देखना.
Yeah, पिछले ओवर में 9 रन भाई. ये तो dude, you know what? One part of me wants Sri Lanka to win because I think that'll be a much better story. Like if Sri Lanka out हो गया.
पहली बॉल हसरंगा slog sweep, good catch just inside the boundary.
Rizwan.
अब मुश्किल है यार, because the guy who's faced 49 balls for a KL Rahul innings, you expect him to push on. अब मुश्किल है यार यहाँ से.
Yeah. Oh God. Trying to go for it. Great catch. Yeah. Beautiful catch.
Slightly too full to see, but yeah.
Yeah, but big fan of Rizwan, but I think this is not a good knock, man. This is not a good knock. I mean, it's like I understand that wickets are falling and all around you, but 55 or 49 chasing 171. अभी भाई शोएब अख्तर बहुत झाड़ने वाला है कल, बहुत झाड़ेगा कल. And I already know शोएब अख्तर what he's going to say is like अच्छा क्या हमारे क्या बोलता है हमारे लड़कों ने पर ये क्या था 55 और 90 49 कैसे कर सकते हो तुम. So I can already imagine that.
नहीं वो ठीक है. This match, एक तो they should not have let this team get to that many runs, and slow start. I mean, you almost predicted a Babar Azam failure early on. वही है यार, वो फखर जमान ने रन नहीं बनाया तो मिडिल पे बहुत प्रेशर है यार.
Yeah. The fat guy says bad news for Sri Lanka. By the way, Sri Lanka now have defeated India once. They're probably going to defeat Pakistan twice. This has been a great tournament for these guys. And honestly, I don't think anybody, I don't think in the conversation they were even appearing for the most part.
I think for the most part they were not. Then they lost that first match to Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
उसके बाद से I mean, whoever was backing them would have been like, यार ये तो अफगानिस्तान से हार गए. तो उसके बाद से tremendous comeback, यार. Hats off to them.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, just thoroughly impressed. And again, this is a great goddamn story. And also, I mean, listen, I want to know Asia Cup prize money. Asia Cup prize money 2022. That's it?
What? It's a पीतल का trophy. Or
It's 1.5 crores apparently. 1.5 crores and the runner up gets 79 lakhs. What? That's
how
can't be
much?
it, yeah.
How much did Urvashi Rotela get?
Listen, listen, you're not far off. Okay, you're not far off that. I think Urvashi Rotela profited more from her appearances in the Asia Cup than the winning team at the Asia Cup. So again, listen,
Easily.
I'm coming back to this. There is an Indian that has won the Asia Cup, and that is he's gone. Goodbye. See
He's
you
gone.
later. Okay,
बहुत बड़ा
this is
over भाई,
goodbye.
बहुत बड़ा over.
Yeah.
Ui, clean name up.
ये तो yeah, this is such typical Hasaranga where people are playing in panic and Hasaranga is like अभी आएगा मजा अभी तो मैं सबको
You
आउट
know,
करूंगा.
भाई हम लोग यही बात करते हैं एक और शो पे. From a fantasy
हाँ
perspective, right? In any match in these conditions, make your captain and vice captain a spinner bowling in the second innings. Anyone who makes their captain, vice captain, a spinner who's bowling first, the points are so skewed because the pressure to score against spinners is so much in these tournaments, and the spinners walk away with wickets in the second innings. So I'm not surprised is बंदे ने ऐसा लिया wicket आज.
yeah that's but he does this so often, man, like
Oh
him.
yeah,
And yeah, all of these, in fact I would say, like even when Shadab got those wickets against
Hong
against
Kong
Hong Kong, sorry.
4 for 8. Yeah,
It was literally that, where it's like you realize that there's four people who know how to play spin properly in most
yep,
T20 sides, and the lower order has no idea because they're also panicking.
बिल्कुल.
So yeah.
And especially
Oof,
the
this
wrist
is
spinners with their variety and their pace, very tough to play. यार आ गया शराब बैटिंग करने आया. ये अब तो गया भाई 60
Shadab.
of 21.
Yeah, this
Ui.
is oof. Yeah, and by the way, this is the best part. MTK says there should be a rule that Asia Cup winners should be qualified for World Cup automatically. After this, they have to qualify for the bloody World Cup, dude. That
Sri
is
Lanka have to,
craziness.
yes. I
Yeah,
think Sri Lanka and one more team have to go through that round. Maybe West Indies or something. Yeah.
West Indies. You're right. Yeah. It's West Indies.
एक और भाई एक और. See, India's only going because they're hosts.
Yeah.
अरे एक और ले गया सौरभ.
क्या रहा ना?
Top
अच्छा.
edge slog straight to third, short third man. What a over
Wow.
यार, खा गया बंदा over. कमाल का over है यार.
And Apex is having a better day than Sri Lanka. Apex says Hasaranga is my captain in Dream 11. Well done.
सही बात. Good guy
Congrats.
Apex. Good guy. Same here. मैं वही देख रहा हूँ. मैं अपना point देख रहा हूँ.
कितना जीता है तू maximum? Like what is the biggest amount you won?
यार so in the app I don't spend more than like 80-90 rupees, and then you win like
हाँ.
300-400. But we have a pool of guys going on for just a big tournaments, Asia Cups, IPLs, and World Cup. Maximum I've won, I think I won 20k at the IPL earlier this year, having put down only 1500. That's
20K you got?
yeah. After putting
Wow,
down
dude.
1500.
Oh my god, yeah. And again, Harshit, very valid point. I think Shanaka has been one of the most improved and mature players for Sri Lanka over the past 2-3 years. Given the responsibility, he's done stupendously. Dude, that 59 runs of whatever 3 overs that they needed against Australia was one of it. It reminded me of who was the guy who scored? Was it Kusal? Who's the Pereira who scored the left-hander against South Africa where he won the Test match single-handedly?
Kusal Pereira, yeah.
Kusal Pereira. That T20 reminded me of that, but I mean, I still think Kusal Pereira's knock was way superior. But
Unreal.
Completely agree. Yeah. But the Shanaka, completely agree. He's been finishing so goddamn well. It's amazing. Yeah, impressed by him, right?
Absolutely, unreal. And he had to lead the team. Not the most naturally skilled player in this team. Doesn't bowl a lot. He got a fantastic 50 against Australia recently. He's doing the job here. You see his strike rate, score come hai. It's the same sort of with Rohit Sharma in this Asia Cup. Didn't get many runs, but the strike rate is 151. You look at these kind of things more than the actual return. So yeah.
But it's so interesting when a team is losing, right? Like when Pakistan is losing, they're looking so out of it. You know what I'm saying? When they were winning against India and all the rest, you were like, oh my god, this. And Rahul Dravid was like, sexy. can we say they're sexy? I don't know how many people follow that. Where Rahul Dravid said that
Yeah, yeah,
I wouldn't say that our side is S and there's a word that starts with S. And I'm like, Rahul Dravid, this is doesn't want to say sexy. Like, that's a cred ad right there, dude.
it's Rahul Dravid. But I
Yeah,
jokes apart, I just go back to what
yeah,
I was saying earlier. Okay, the team that played one T20 the whole year, right? Hats
yeah,
off to you for getting this far. But if you get down to detail, right? Hong Kong match, they were expected to win, right? Afghanistan,
yeah,
they should. Afghanistan, you can look at it two ways. They shouldn't have got into that situation, and when they did, they should have lost that match, right? So it's not
yeah,
like they're playing some sexy, wow kind of cricket. वो मर मर के matches जीते हैं, right? And I think
yeah.
it's because they've only played one single T20 the whole year. Great to be there, but this kind of batting collapse is not surprising yet.
Completely agree. Okay. So people are saying why didn't they send Naseem Shah to bat? Because also Haris Rauf is not bad and he's also played BBL and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we have
Yeah,
a lot of super chats. I better take some super chats.
please.
Shubha Mohanty has sent a super chat saying my main problem with the final is that whoever wins, that a-hole Daniel Alex is still going to celebrate the result even more because of our tourney exit. Yeah,
Bilkul Shubham. And exactly, I'm saying he's not going to celebrate his own team winning. He doesn't care. वो खुद की team को support नहीं करता. He will do exactly what the second part of your sentence said. He'll still be celebrating the fact that India didn't make the final. Pakistan have
yeah.
choked. They played bad cricket. We'll say it's still better. बहुत ही annoying है यार ये इंसान.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, this is the valid point, which is that Alani says Daniel Alexander's not so funny. Dennis Friedman trolls in a funny way. Yeah, yeah, most of the time. Absolutely.
Most of the
Agree.
time, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
ठीक है.
let's be
Okay.
honest, India is the ultimate superpower in world cricket right now, and you need a Daniel Alexander to screw around. I think he's a necessity.
Yeah,
Completely agree. You need somebody to troll India right now. It's absolutely imperative that you have somebody like that
and you have him
making people
and you
angry.
have Dennis. Both their names start with D. So ठीक है यार.
Correct. And okay, we have another super chat saying Aditya Madhuri says Pakistan is the most entertaining team of all time. There is zero doubt about this. there is zero
Lot
doubt
of
about this. Okay.
and down the
Yeah.
years consistently. Do you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
viewers, in that infamous run out, in that infamous whatever the Australasia Cup, the one where Chetan Sharma got hit for a six by Javed Mianda, right? Now
Yeah.
we've all seen that match, right? Go
Yeah.
closely on YouTube. There's a clip where the guy he was batting with was a spinner called Tausif Ahmed. Okay, Tausif Ahmed
Huh.
is running off. Okay, the cops were lathi charging the fans who came on the ground, right? Tausif Ahmed got hit on the head by a lathi. So even in an
Holy
epic
shit.
win like that, they still gave you a comic moment. This is Pakistan for you, boss.
Okay, we have Gurkirat on the stream. Let's bring him on at a very crucial juncture, which is
Super.
all excitement happening. Gurkirat Gill, how are you doing, sir? What is happening, my friend?
I'm good to see Jamie here. पहले ही बात हो रखी है and
बिल्कुल.
थोड़ा सा मैच I suppose जो expected था after the halfway stage वैसा गया नहीं, but this was always on the cards.
Yeah.
You can't expect teams to
Yeah.
your other batters to rope you out after a 45 ball 50 every time. मतलब
Yeah.
sorry to say this, but if probably India would have reached the finals, maybe KL Rahul would have batted like this.
Oh, we've had that discussion. वो हो गया. Show के शुरुआत पे Sorabh said Mohd Rizwan who will play a KL Rahul type innings.
अरे एक और गया
But
चलो.
there's a difference. KL Rahul has the skill. Mohd Rizwan doesn't have shots on the offside. If I am the opposition captain, I'd ask my bowlers to bowl the six stump line, have boundary options on the mid wicket and cow corner, and ask him to offside mein maar. If you are good enough to hit me on the offside or hit my bowlers on the offside and take runs, then hats off to you. But I know that, but itni cricket dekh liya ab ki before the bowlers even marking his run up, Rizwan's thinking, okay, fine leg, mid wicket and cow corner. ये तीन जगह ही मैं शॉट मारूंगा, बाकी जगह रन नहीं मिलेंगे मेरे को शॉट मारने के. It's like जैसे गली क्रिकेट में होता था ना, गली क्रिकेट में या आप पार्क में खेलते थे कि सिर्फ लेग साइड के रन है. Mohd Rizwan's that batter. He forgets there's an offside.
And exactly what you're saying, Gurkirat. They showed that package in the innings break. Bowl the ball full. The guy's clueless. His front foot doesn't come forward. He's consciously walking across the wicket to try and manufacture that run. So he's absolutely spot on. उसका है ही नहीं game off.
Yeah, I mean, despite that, he's still the number one T20 batter. I mean, so he's got something. Or do you think it's one of those orange cap situations where it's like, you know, how Dinesh Karthik said that the orange cap is one of the most useless awards in the IPL, which I literally, I don't think it's one of the most useful or useless. I think the most useless is game changer. I think there is a lot
Yeah, देखो
best
ऐसा है.
best best walk of the IPL. There's so many useless awards in the IPL, but it's relative useless. So do you think that's what it is? Where it's like it's just the number of runs versus his actual this thing? Because he's won quite a few matches for Pakistan. Let's be honest.
Okay, so I'll say this: T20 rankings are more clueless and more stupid than the Duckworth-Lewis Stern method. If you try and understand the Duckworth-Lewis Stern method, you will see the logic. But if you try and
Huh.
understand the T20, forget the ICC rankings, forget T20 rankings, you will struggle to understand them. Like my
Yeah.
biggest grief with these rankings, we ki आप टेस्ट मैचेस में अगर रैंकिंग्स दे रहे हो, you can't have the same points for a home and away test victory. That's
Yep.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
stupid. Everyone knows, but
Yeah.
they give you the same points. So these rankings have rarely made sense. It's another thing कि ठीक है जब फेवर में होती है जिस कंट्री के फैंस की, they start celebrating it and they bring it up. But these rankings have never made sense. I mean, कुछ भी कर लो at this point of time. If you have seen enough game and you tell somebody, oh, Rizwan is the number one T20 batter, people will laugh at you. Matlab, I will never say that. If I want to be a cricket analyst or a cricket commentator and I tell people ki Rizwan's the number one batter, people will laugh at my face. So these these rankings have never made any sense.
It's the same thing after India's dismal, abject performance at last year's T20 World Cup, right? एक bilateral series के बाद the team was ranked number one. I think it was January. I remember laughing, saying like, show me an Indian fan who's going to believe that this thakeli team तो 10 साल से कोई tournament जीती, ये number one ranked है, you know, because you payload Sri Lanka 3-0 at home, right? And वो बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हो गुरकीरत, these rankings have forever have never been actually that, you know, accurate description.
Also if you actually see, अगर आप एक ranking का weightage लेके चलो, right? So you should get more points for defeating a team that is above you in the ranking, and not so many points if you are defeating someone who's below you. But ये ranking system में, whether you beat the number one side or the number 10 team, you get the same points. So like I said, you can find logic in Duckworth-Lewis Stern method, but you will not find logic in rankings. वो बस बनी हुई है पहले की, वो चलती हुई आ रही हैं. They keep going on. It makes absolutely zero sense. And on the awards bit, so this IPL there was, I mean, बाकी तो सारे awards हैं ही बेकार, but someone like Kuldeep Yadav actually got the Man of the Match award because Kevin Peterson thought that he had a great attitude. What is
What?
happening?
Is that a thing?
How can
Is that an actual
Devin
thing?
Peterson.
No, but which match was this? What did he do? What did he do? I gotta Google this. Man.
This
Kuldeep
was
Yadav
Delhi.
attitude.
This was Delhi versus Punjab this year at Brabon. Delhi had dismissed Punjab for around 105, 110. And
Yeah.
by the way, Kuldeep came on to bowl by the time Punjab were already 60 for 6. And he got the wickets of Rabada and Ellis. Akshar had taken 3 wickets. Everyone thought that Akshar will get the man of the match because he dismissed Livingston. He dismissed another top player.
Gold kiya, yeah.
Haan. And Harsha Bhogle was there. He said Kevin Peterson was the educator today, and he thought, and he was actually trying to control his laughter. And Kevin Peterson thought that someone like Kuldeep Yadav showed great attitude today. So for him, Kuldeep's the man of the match today. And Kuldeep also came out and said, I expected that Akshar Patel ko man of the match playega.
By the way, Pakistan are 125 for 9, and Pramod, what's his name? Dude, I mean, honestly, there are too many new players. This guy's playing Pramod. What's his surname, man? Do you know his surname? I mean, you both
Pramod
obviously know his surname.
Pramod Madhushanka, the left arm.
The right hander. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm talking about Madhushan. Yeah, he's playing a second
Madhushan hai, ek
T20
Madhushanka
guy.
hai.
Yeah, no, I'm Pramod Madhushan is the guy. He's playing a second T20 international. The first one was the Super 4, and the second one is the final of the Asia Cup. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's taken 4 wickets, dude. That's an amazing story. Big, like, I mean, come on, this is incredible stuff.
But you'd be amazed to know that for Sri Lanka cricket, this is not something which is an amazing story. Someone like Rajapaksa, who scored a 70 today, he had announced retirement in January because he was not getting picked because he had his body fat percentage was
because
more
he
than
liked
what the
chocolates.
Sri
Yeah.
Lankans, Yeah. So the Sri Lankan he was not getting picked. So he announced his retirement. Then the Sri Lankan sports minister asked him to take his retirement back. And then he got selected. So Sri Lanka का वो उतनी news में नहीं आता, but their selections and everything are also very up and down. Their sports ministry gets involved. Sometimes the president gets involved. Anything happens.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a fantastic victory, man. Like, I mean, this is done. Oh, almost went for it.
And it's not even close. This is a massive victory.
Yeah, and also, dude, okay, one part of me is irritated right now. One part is annoyed because Sri Lanka have been so good in this tournament that they've disproved the whole notion of chasing side wins. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. Let me make my tweet about like, hey, this is constantly happening, and they've ruined it.
So more than Sri Lanka being very good, this was Pakistan being very poor. To be very honest, 170 is not a score that team should have trouble chasing in Dubai. And Pakistan have decent batting depth. They had Shadab coming in at 8. Shadab plays at number 3 for his PSL team. So this was very, very poor from Pakistan.
And the teams, exactly, just to add on this, the teams that have been stuck scoring 170 to 175, they've not won many matches. So you had a great chance to do it here. It's just the kind of Pakistan, we all know what Pakistan shows up. And चलो मैं तो मानता हूँ कि बाबर का अर्ली विकेट का आपको बंदोबस्त तो करना ही चाहिए, but it's that untested middle order. And Gurgeet, I want to ask you a question. This Pakistan team before this Asia Cup, they played one T20 match the whole year. जहाँ हमारी team 14 match खेल चुकी, they played one. This has got to be a factor because when you're busy playing test matches that last 5 days without a result, and the world is playing T20s, if you look at their wins have not been big. They've won 2 matches they should have lost. So it's not like there's some form team which knows the conditions. They've been very poor overall also, Pakistan, yeah?
No. So the issue is that we talk of Indian cricket being conservative. Pakistan cricket is far more conservative. Like if you look at Pakistan cricket, you think Indian cricket is modern. It is that conservative. Because अभी भी उनका वही चलता है कि you need to keep wickets in hand in the last, in T20s, and they play like that. And they have learned basically nothing from their loss against Australia in the last World T20. If you look at the batter, the players that they have between number 5 to number 8, right? They have 4 bowling options who all of them who can hit big sixes. Khushdeel can hit big sixes. Nawaz, we saw what he did against India. Shadab bats at number 3 for Islamabad, and he's a decent enough batter. And then there's Asif Ali, right? अब आपको पता है कि आपके जो 2 प्लेयर या टॉप 3 के वो थोड़ा कंजर्वेटिव है, तो आप कभी एक पिंच हिटर वाली सिचुएशन क्यों नहीं ट्राई करते? ये 90s में ट्राई होती थी, एंड ये स्टार्ट बहुत पहले हो गई है, बट दे आर जस्ट सो कंजर्वेटिव इन देयर अप्रोच कि बस लकीर के फकीर हमने रहना है. तो लकीर के फकीर आप बनोगे तो you'll win matches when you'll have the luck of the toss, but whenever something or the other goes awry, you lose. And not surprised one bit, because they learn nothing from what they see in their PSL. Like Babar Azam's team lost 9 out of 10 matches this PSL. And a factor of that was Babar Azam's batting as well, but kuch change nahi hua, so they learn nothing that way.
So here's my question to you. What is the most critical thing that Sri Lanka has done right in this tournament? Because honestly, like as I was discussing with Jamie, T20 cricket and general cricket, and like when you're winning, you look amazing. You're like, bhai, is team mein koi flaw hai hi nahi. In sabka bahut lamba hai. They are amazing at everything that they do. And then when they're losing, they're like, kya ghatiya side hai. So what has Sri Lanka done? Which like again, because we are still discussing this, that they have to qualify for the T20 World Cup, which is another thing. So after this, they are pretty much playing continuous cricket till the start of the tournament, which is quite amazing.
So one thing that I think they've genuinely done better is
something's apparently burning in my house. Just give me a second.
Pakistan fans are hiding away somewhere.
I just read a comment. That comment says, why Akash Mehta is wearing pagdi?
So Akash Mehta apparently at the last minute told Sorabh that I'm not feeling well. So I said, ठीक है, अभी नई शादी हुई है, तो it's very tough to get away every Saturday, Sunday night to sit and talk cricket with the boys. So yeah, but we wish you the best, Akash, if you're following this stream. हाँ भाई, सब ठीक?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, everything's fine. Nothing's burnt in my house. Everything's fine. The everything's safe, guys. Okay, we have a comedian to join us. Legendary streamer. He's one of the top comedic streamers about cricket with great contributions like Rizwan Sunscreen. Here is Sridhar Venkatraman. Hi, Sridhar. How are you feeling
Hi,
in life, man?
hi guys. I'm good. I'm
Hi,
good.
Sridhar.
I'm just stuck out of home, so I'm on my phone right now doing the stream.
I have to ask you, by the way. You know what we
Yeah,
discussed in the last stream about Rizwan wearing sunscreen, and he
yeah.
stopped immediately after we released that video. Do you think we had an impact?
I hope we did. I hope we did.
Yeah. So are you
But
watching this? Are you in?
but I think
Yeah. Huh.
staying true to our analysis, I think he
Yeah.
stopped wearing because Surya is no longer in the tournament, so he doesn't need any.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not needed now.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Something I can genuinely smell something burning in my house, and I don't know what the hell it is.
It's your
Uh,
charger. It's your mic. Look around.
yeah. That's what I'm seeing. There's something. What the hell is
Oh,
burning, man? Yeah. Give me a second.
Haris Rauf has hit some good
Yeah, he's
sixes.
hitting.
Oh, by
That
the way,
was
I just want to tell this to the viewers that are here that Babar's average this IPL is this Asia Cup is 11. I have watched so much of
yeah.
IPL कि मैंने यहाँ पे IPL बोल दिया. And
it's
and that average was lesser than Shahnawaz Dhani's and Naseem Shah's average. He's
no
had that kind of.
somewhere I read somewhere today that this is almost like IPL because we're just watching for the fun of it. This finals, there's no emotional attachment to which team is winning.
All over.
So
Bold him, bold him. I think the only batsman who had a worse average in a tournament, Inzamam in 2003 World Cup, he averaged like 4.5 with like a best of 12 or something. This is like going down that road right now. But look at these guys, man.
or
Hats
okay,
off.
Sorabh.
Kane Williamson was also very bad this IPL. Very, very bad.
This IPL, yeah. But he
Yeah.
shouldn't be playing the IPL. He's finished. So that's a different match.
Okay, it's
Look at
time for
these
the
guys.
Nagin dance because Karuna Ratne has taken the last wicket and Sri Lanka have officially won the Asia Cup. And dude,
Yeah, well,
okay, here's the thing. I did not see that coming from any angle. This is completely and yes, Arnab Kundu has stated it perfectly. We won good vibes, and this is again not an India Pakistan thing. This is just that Sri Lanka is substituting for India in the final. That's all.
see, Saurabh, it doesn't matter who wins at the end of the day. We're all Indian subcontinent, Akhand Bharat. So
Yeah.
we're all
Cricket
winners at
is
the end of the
going
day.
in.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta ask you, who do you think amongst this whole Sri Lanka side has been the most impressive and most critical? I would say, forget impressive. Who's been the most critical sort of performer in this IPL of Asia Cup so far? Let's start with Gurkirat.
Uh, Tough one, but see, actually, if you look at it closely, they've had different people turn up in every game. Like Kushal Mendes won them a game against Bangladesh, which was a must-win game, and there also someone like Shanaka played a very good innings. Then you look at the game versus Afghanistan, जो Super 4 में शारजा थी. Four batters contributed 30-35 at a strike rate of 150-160. So they've actually not had a standout performer, but they've had people chipping in with decent roles. Someone like Chamika Karunaratne. Today, even though he only scored 14 of 14, but it was important that he held one end with Rajapaksa till the end, and then he chipped in with 2 wickets. And Karunaratne has been that bowler when needed with the bat, he's chipped in. When wickets are needed, he's bowled 2 overs. Hasaranga has chipped in. So a lot of players have chipped in. You look at Dhananjay De Silva. He only played the last game and today's game. He was not a starter for them, but they saw him bat in the last game and they recognized his game against pace is good. Pakistan have 3 140 plus bowlers, so why don't we get him? Because he's a good enough test batter as well. Has an average of 37-38 batting at number 6. So they got him in. So if I had to pick one player, I'd say someone like Dasun Shanaka has done very well in keeping the team together and get the best out of everyone. And he's used his bowlers very well. So for me, Dasun Shanaka has been one great player for them. People will talk about Rajapaksa, Hasaranga, but Shanaka की कोई बात नहीं करेगा, जबकि Shanaka has been very important for them.
I'll
Yeah,
have to
Jamie, go ahead.
second that. In fact, on the other show this evening with Abhijit and Vivine, we're talking about the same thing. and we each had to pick our 11. And the only player I had, which they didn't have, was Dasun Shanaka for the exact same reason that Gurkeetar has said. I think his strike rate is at 141 to 142 ke aspas. He's not got the big scores, but to captain a team when not being one of the naturally most talented players in that team, to do the job, he hasn't always bowled. When he has bowled, he got 2 big wickets. He's doing the job. So again,
He's
you
been
can't miss one player.
He's been like better version of Darren Sammy. Like Darren Sammy in 2016 was very good, but Darren Sammy in total scored 12 runs in that tournament, and he bowled 1 over for 10 runs. Like West Indies in that 2016 World Cup were playing with 10 players and Darren Sammy, but Shanaka has performed also both with the bat and the ball.
I agree with both of them, Sorabh, but I have a non-cricketing answer to this.
Yeah.
I think for me, the pick of the tournament is Sri Lankan bowlers because unlike the country, their economy was amazing, which I think helped them win this tournament.
I was waiting for one of those from you. I'm so glad you pulled through once again, Sridhar. You're exactly.
I'm just
like
here
Arunal
to help
Nagbe
you
in the
make
final.
reels, Sorabh. I'm here to help you feed your kids and your wife and your family.
And you know how the format is literally going to be like JV makes a point, Gurkeerat makes a point, everybody's like, very good, insightful cricket decision. And then it ends with the economy bit. And by the way, the jokes about the economy have started already on this thing, which is Devan Satya says IMF loan goes to Sri Lanka. And then somebody says, way earlier, somebody said that how can Sri Lanka win? They can't even qualify for a SBI loan. And I'm like, dude, guys, come on. Let's stop these kind of statements in the comments and saying things that people shouldn't say.
I have one more, Sorabh, one more.
Yeah.
I think the celebrations are going to be wild tonight in Sri Lanka. Maybe we could just call it the dynamic island for the night.
Listen, one second. Okay, I got. We're talking about celebrations. Okay, Hasaranga has got to have one of the most irritating celebrations I have ever seen. Right, because at least like with Cottrell, like that, because it's the Neymar celebration, and I'm like, come on, you're like, first of all, you took your entire lessons from Ajanta Mendes. At least have a original. At least have an original celebration. Okay, so this is my question. I know I'm very proud of Sri Lanka. I love Hasaranga. I just don't like a celebration. I've forgotten my question because so excited by my pre-zone. Yeah, the question is, who do you think has the most irritating celebration in world cricket?
Mohammad Siraj had it when he had started imitating Cristiano Ronaldo for a very brief while. He had a very good celebration where he would, celebrate with Mayank Agarwal, look up to his dad. But out of nowhere, he started, imitating Cristiano Ronaldo, and a very funny thing happened. He started imitating that celebration, and he had a terrible IPL. He stopped doing that celebration. His lines were left improved. So these things are
Rarely had a good IPL. I think all these years he's had one good IPL also. Same Mohammad Siraj, Mohammad Shami wali baat, not a natural T20 bowler, Mohammad Siraj. But just to add, I think with any celebration, when you do it too much, it's sort of the effect wears off. So what Hassan Ali did for the longest time, I find that like ho gaya bhai tera, you were dropped from the team, you've only just come back because 3 guys got injured or 4 guys.
He injured his shoulder doing that celebration in Zimbabwe.
Bas, khatam baat wahi pe.
Is that an actual thing? This was like Ravindra Jadeja getting injured for surfing. Yeah, Sridhar.
I agree with his assessment that too much celebration is not good, which is probably why India is not in the finals now. Like we don't like celebrating too much. Like you should keep a cap. Right? You should stop at some point.
And with Diwali and all coming up, we have enough things.
October.
Yeah, we have Diwali, we have the World Cup victory that we are definitely going to win. The Sera, there's a lot. We have a lot to celebrate. So absolutely correct. I think Sridhar, you've hit the nail on the head that this cricket team understands Indian culture, and they're like, you know what? Let's wait. Let's figure it out.
But we all know, right? So now we let Sri Lanka win, but Dasara is very soon. And you know what happens then? Sri Lanka will lose, and then Diwali happens. It's all a part of the plan. It's all planned.
Sridhar looks like that kind of a guy who'll take inspiration from this match and make a great LinkedIn post which will go viral on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. वैसे भी he's from IIM, so people are going to be like, हाँ ये IIM वाले तो कुछ भी लिख देते हैं, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
Hey, how did you figure out he was from IM? I wonder. It's so
My
subtle.
username.
It's so subtle, you know. Okay, but okay, you know what people say? Worst celebration is Hassan Ali and Imran Tahir. Imran Tahir's celebration is fucking amazing. So anybody who says that sucks, that's an amazing celebration. To see a 42-year-old man run a marathon for every wicket. I mean, there should be a standard chartered ribbon where he runs across every time he takes a wicket. That is an
You
extraordinary
saw,
thing that he does.
you
So
saw the
I don't know if you know this.
Lal Singh Chaddha
Imran,
memes about him also.
yeah,
I was just
Imran
coming to
Tahir.
that.
Imran Tahir, he's a Pakistani, right? He's from Pakistan. But
Yeah.
one of his celebrations, he ran so much, he ended up in South Africa. That's how he's playing for South Africa now. It's
वो तो प्यार के चक्कर में भी भागा वहाँ पे.
he kept running and didn't stop.
Hey, but I got to know about Hassan Ali injuring himself because he celebrated in Zimbabwe. That's a thing that happened?
Yeah.
It happened.
You can
So
see
you
this
said-
on YouTube.
There's a very
He actually-
popular video of him doing the celebration in his neck, going for a toss.
I think one thing we have to briefly, and by brief I mean like 5 seconds, a clap for Chris Silverwood. इस बंदे को
Yeah.
लात मार के they threw him out of the England setup and he goes and wins the Asia Cup. So 5 seconds of acknowledgement for whatever Chris Silverwood has done with this team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I just have to say this, Sorabh, about Hassan Ali. He's a bowler who bowls at a breakneck speed. Is all I want to say.
Breakneck speed.
It's just,
Okay, I got to ask you about this Chris Silverwood stuff, okay? Because all these codes that they keep having, I think they did it in the IPL with, was it, who was it? Who was
Nathan
the
Lemon.
IPL?
Nathan
Yeah, yeah.
Lemon and Owen Morgan.
Yeah, so what do you think of this whole, because it seems like I don't see such a big deal about doing it, but what do you think it is? Like, I think at some stage you said 5R in the middle of the Pakistani chase. What is it? Is it that, hey, now bring on XYZ or bring up the field? What have they discussed? And isn't that a lot for a captain to remember in the middle of all this chaos?
I mean, captains don't remember the teams that they have at the toss. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 4 changes. हाँ 4 changes. ये तो बहुत दूर की बात है यार. कहाँ जा रहे हो सौरभ इसको लेके? Rohit never
You
knows
think
the
that
team.
is-
We have 1 change. Yeah, we have 1 change.
You think it's to screw with the opposition to pretend like, hey, we know so much, and they're just like, kuch bhi hai, like 4Q, whatever, who gives a shit? 2M, just whatever, put anything. Like, we remember any of this nonsense. Okay, this
Achha,
is
Saurabh,
Rancha Record.
I have to
Yeah.
bounce. I have to bounce.
Yes, sir.
Absolute pleasure, gentlemen.
Always. Jamie, thanks.
I'm-
Oh, wow, you're supposed to leave at 11. It's 11:30. Thanks a lot for your time, Jamie.
I love you, Sorabh.
Thanks.
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
Hey man, it's right back at you, man. We'll hire a hotel room separately in Gurgaon and just drink alcohol and reminisce about these good times.
yeah, thanks for stopping there, Sorabh. Just,
Follow Jamie everywhere. I've anyway tagged his channel. Check him out everywhere. He also does a
Lovely.
show on Glance Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I think that's at 4. What time? 4:00.
5.
5 p.m. 5
5
p.m.
Yeah.
And no more T20
50
Atta. So yay! Sure. Glad I didn't see that.
Hey,
Chalo,
thanks
guys,
a lot for your
thank
time, man,
you.
Jamie. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys.
OP
Thanks.
for
See you
Jamie in the chat.
thanks, Jimmy.
Bye.
Okay, so this is a lot of the chats which has been talking about, and this applies to India as well. Rancha Record says this loss is a blessing in disguise for Pakistan team as this whole tournament exposed Pakistan's khasi. I don't know what khasi means. Is it like Michael Khasi? I don't know. But
It just
do
sounds
you
like
think
a
the same-
word that says it's bad. It just says bad. I think.
Yeah. Do you think this applies to India as well?
No. Because
I think every tournament for India has been a blessing in disguise because we've only been learning for the last I don't know how many years of not winning
but-
anything.
on a serious note, if you look at it,
Yeah.
India had to bat first, I think, in 4 games. And batting
Yeah.
first, they were the most consistent team. Even the matches that they lost in the last over, stretching the game. So, India's issue wasn't really with the bat; it was more with the ball. So, and India have actually changed their approach because you would never see someone like Rohit Sharma scores 28 runs in 16 balls and then keep trying to get going and get out in the power play. Even Kohli has worked on his approach. The only issue is that someone like KL Rahul Still needs to work on his approach and intent. But overall, India का defensive approach अब रहा नहीं. It's changed.
That's true.
What
We don't believe in
Yeah.
defense anymore. We believe in घर में घुस के
घर में घुस के घर में घुसेंगे और घर में मारेंगे.
Dude, what do you think of that interview? Because so on one end, this Surya Kumar Yadav saying कि कहीं भी खिला मैं करूंगा, मुझे बस टीम में आने का है. And then reporter asking KL Rahul apparently that should Kohli open, and he said, "What will I do? Sit on the bench." So what do you think of these two very differing answers? Where one guy is like, "This is my position, don't mess with it," and the other guy is like, "कहीं भी खिलाओ." Like, I mean, I didn't like that. I didn't enjoy the answer. I was like, dude, come on, man.
You didn't enjoy whose answer? Sky's
KL.
or Rahul's?
So see, this is the privilege. This is the privilege that you get when you've been in the team for 6 years. Sky only made his debut last year, so वो respective privileges हैं.
Yeah, I think the more strategic reason probably behind this is Surya Kumar Yadav has traveled a lot in Mumbai local. The essence of it is you just have to get a seat. कहीं पे सीट मिल जाए बस ट्रेन में बैठना है. Whereas our boy
सीट क्या बस
gone around
अंदर ट्रेन में घुसना है बस.
Yeah.
बस. I think it's from there the approach.
Okay, we have a few super chats that are completely ignored, so I'll just take them now. Adarsh says, guys, I think that narrative that England cricket cracked white ball cricket, but they have a drawn trophy at home and nothing in T20 World Cups. What do you think of that? I mean, this is again coming to World Cup questions, but England's World Cup squad looks great. I mean, even if Bairstow's not playing, still looks quite a good squad. If I don't know if Jofra Archer is obviously not fit, but even despite him not being fit, if Mark Wood is fit, I mean, they'll play him in a couple of matches. What do you think?
From whatever little I've seen of T20Is, it's just about any team being on their A game on the day of the matches.
On the day, yeah.
I think any team with like above average teammates can win any match if their day is going well in T20Is at least, you know, because you can have the best team in the world. Like India had some amazing players playing in the playing 11, but if it's not your day, if your combination doesn't really work, then there's nothing that can help you. So I think World Cup is all about which team has that momentum and has that intent and that combination working well for them. Like look at Sri Lanka, right? This tournament, nobody thought they'll win the Asia Cup, but every match somebody played, every match they came together and they won. So I think any team with a half decent side should be able to win the World Cup if they put their combinations to good use.
I have a different view to this. There's been only one T20 World Cup that has happened since England changed their white ball setup, which was in 2016, and two, which was in 2016 and last year. 2016 they reached the finals. Last year they reached the semi-finals. So they've not done badly in T20, but I don't think they have a strong enough team for this T20 World Cup. Their bowling is a problem. What they want to do is that they want to have batting depth. 8-9-10 तक batting हो, पर वो 8-9-10 तक batting के लिए the bowlers that they have, so they will probably have to get 8 overs out of Moeen Ali, Livingstone, and Sam Curran, which isn't an easy job. That is why England are never a side that has won matches defending, because if you are going to get 8 overs out of these bowlers, and उनके जो bankers भी हैं, they are Mark Wood and Chris Jordan, who really aren't bankers. Chris Jordan has had an economy of over 9 for the last 2 years, and on his bad day, Chris Jordan is very bad. We saw that in this IPL as well, and last World T20 also. So England's bowling is a problem, but their batting, if they get
Gurkirat has become Undertaker. Oh my god. Gurkirat, you froze at a very critical time. It was beautiful to watch. Like this is some I was expecting flames. Like my house had something on fire, but something your curtains are going to rise up from the back, and like Kane is going to come.
And then the curtains will raise, and suddenly Elizabeth will come, the Queen, the ghostly form. Like, don't you dare say anything about the England team.
Dude, has England already won the Test match award, by the way?
नहीं, कल they have to come back tomorrow and
97
score
for no
those
loss.
30 runs. It stumps.
Wow, dude. Yeah, wow. It's time for some cloud seeding. But yeah, dude, like I remember reading the stats of Chris Jordan. Even at that point, I was like 9.84 in T20. In T20 years is horrible. Like irrespective of how good a fielder you are. And I remember Tom Curran was roughly the same. I'm like, क्या है? ये क्या hype है? मतलब हटना. Dinesh Karthik can be better as a bowler. Okay. They have two more chats that I've completely ignored. I'm so sorry, guys. Manvendra Kumar says, "Hey, both, can you decide what boards the Sri Lankan dressing room put in between overs B1, D1, and all?" Yeah, we discussed this. So we discussed this, and nobody has any idea. It's just like, this is scam. This is all full scam. It's it's absolute scam. And then there, you know what? Everybody's clued in the comments. And then there's Chinmay Sardesai, who has asked, which Asia Cup finalist is this? Iska bhi ICL hoga kya? This is a very critical question, dude. So yeah.
Does he mean the Indian Cricket League, ICL? Oh.
Yeah.
ICL, yeah. Okay, I want to ask you both. What do you think was your favorite match? I mean, I think there was a favorite match across this whole Asia Cup, and I don't think anything can beat that. But what is your favorite match? And I will extend that to what is your favorite moment in this Asia Cup so far?
Moment has to be Kohli hitting that century. I mean, nothing's
Yeah.
going to beat that for sure. I know, the game between Afghanistan and Pakistan was a great one, but the moment
Yeah.
definitely has to be Kohli's century. And the game between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka was also quite a good one because it was a must-win game. Both had lost to Afghanistan. So, these two moments, or probably the moment and the match.
Yeah. Sridhar,
I
what
think for
about you?
me, yeah, Virat Kohli's century was probably one of the best moments of the tournament, and the second was Mohd Rizwan wearing sunscreen and us decoding the reason behind it. That's the
Yeah.
second. But
I think my
the other moment that I sort of I think was quite fascinating to see was whole Hardik Pandya winking before hitting the six, where he said, है ना संभाल लेगा. You know, that was the last of Hardik Pandya's confidence we saw in the tournament, and after that it was downhill.
So my favorite moment of the tournament, and I'm genuinely not exaggerating about this, was Urvashi Rautela's Instagram story, which is Naseem Shah celebrating, and then it cuts to her, and I don't know for what reason she put romantic music on top of it, and I'm like, dude, you don't know this guy's age. He could be 13. Like, this is weird. Like, I'm a big fan of Urvashi Rautela, way bigger than I am of Naseem Shah.
But you know, right? Naseem Shah in an interview said, "I don't know who Urvashi is."
Yeah,
he said
he
that
said,
in
I
the
don't know.
interview.
And he said, "मुझे cricket पे focus करना है." That's like that's literally what Rishabh said years back.
Okay, on the question of age, I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think is Rashid Khan's real age?
Okay. So, okay. I would extend this to Mohammad Nabi's real age. Okay. Mohammad Nabi has a son who's playing cricket.
I know.
He has a son who's playing like T20 franchise cricket, and I think his son is 16. So I think that adds up because he's about 37 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mohammad Nabi, his son is going to play in the. So Pakistan have actually launched a franchisee league for junior cricket, like under 16, and his son will be playing in that league. And yeah, you're right. He's 16, and he
No.
had a photo with one of the cricketers. I can't remember the name right now.
Apparently, Rashid Khan used to practice in Afghanistan when Soviet Union was ruling them. So it's been it's been a while.
Apparently, like Soviet Union, when they launched the rocket to Mars, that cosmonaut was actually just Rajesh Khan bowling a mystery delivery. He like that was one of his favorite launches when people are like, we don't know where this is going to go. Yeah.
At the end of the Russian rule is when Rashid Khan mastered his delivery, which goes from left to right.
Yeah.
Because the Russians. Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Just
yeah. So this is, I don't know why Rashid Khan's age is compared to Soviet Union in some roundabout way, but it is. There is it. But look, I thoroughly enjoyed this tournament, man. I'm really actually very much looking forward to the World Cup. Before that, I'll take this one last comment before we bounce. Gandhar says, even after Hasaranga being my Dream 11 captain, I lost money. What was your side, dude? Who did you put? How do you lose after that? But Hasaranga as a captain is still us. But yeah, this is a lot of fun for everybody tuning in. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Give a like and keep the comments coming. There were a lot of great comments. Let's, Gurkirat, anything you'd like to tell people to follow you wherever, please go ahead.
So my Twitter handle's right there. I also do a YouTube series which I haven't resumed in some time. The name of the series is Gupshup with Gil, uh, wherein I invite people who are from the sports industry, not particularly players, but who've worked as analysts, who've worked as consultants to T20 teams. I've also had people like who've been journalists or who've covered the stories, people who've been behind the camera. So you can give it a give it a look out, check it out, and watch a few interviews. Uh, Now I'm planning to get a few more people, but I haven't really got the time. And I also do some cricket analysis with cricket.com.
Yeah, which is great domain name. First of all, forget everything else. I don't like. I mean, I've been on cricket.com a while back, and then I went on it when you mentioned it. Great domain name, and actually quite an interesting website. So yeah, great job. Sridhar, what about you? What's happening, Sridhar? Tell us about your life. Yeah.
The same, Sorabh. You can find me on Twitter. It's at I am comic. I'm doing a couple of shows, by the way, in Bangalore. If you have any subscribers from Bangalore, on the 7th and 8th of October, you can find details in my Instagram link bio, and then maybe see you at the shows in Bangalore.
Hey, listen, I'm going to up you with Bangalore because on 14th of September, which happens to be my birthday, I'm doing a show
Oh,
on for Chai Point, which is at a place called HSR Layout. So
yeah.
if you want, the tickets are it's free, and you just buy 250 rupees and you get a cover charge and you can buy poha and chai. So it's happening at Chai Point. So if you're in Bangalore and you want to essentially do a free show, just pop in. You need to go to the venue to get it. I think a day in advance or something. So please do that. So yeah, Sridhar, in your face, I'm also going to be in Bangalore before you, man. How do you feel now?
I'm good, Saurabh. I'm good. I'm just waiting for
Any
the
of you,
flood to recede and then have people come to the venue.
any of you doing a show in Delhi NCR? If yes, I'd like to come and attend it.
Of course, Saurabh must be doing a show in Delhi. You
Gurkirat,
just
I'm
check
doing a
with the
show on
manager.
September 21st at Chai Point in
Yes.
Saket. It's just literally, I just realized I should have announced it earlier. But listen, I thought this was a fantastic tournament. I know India didn't really sort of do as well as we expected them to do, but
Yeah,
this was a very entertaining tournament. I mean, it was. But
absolutely.
here's the critical question to both of you: did you enjoy this more than the IPL?
I mean, I don't think, I mean, for me at least, you can't compare the two tournaments.
No.
I had a lot of fun
Yeah,
during IPL, and even Asia Cup, I think, was a lot of fun. What was different though was that IPL, we all expect it to be fun, so it was fun. Asia Cup, I didn't expect it to be so much fun. I think this tournament definitely was way better than what we expected, despite how
yeah,
India did. Like, look at the match today, right? A lot of people were watching this match despite India not being there. So I think the quality of cricket was excellent. And Sri Lanka being so good really adds so much to the World Cup that's coming later. Also, there'll be so many more
yeah.
strong teams in the. So it'll be a fun tournament to look forward to.
So I enjoyed this Asia Cup more than the second half of the last year IPL, which was at the same venue, but not as much as this IPL. Because see, for me, venues also make a difference. Last year, when the second leg of IPL was happening in UAE, the pitches were a lot slower, and when I have to watch matches which are on slower pitches in T20, I sort of get a little irritated because in T20, I want to see a minimum of 160, 170, 180 being made and not teams
Oh,
struggling to reach 120, 130. So that way, I didn't enjoy the second half of that last IPL. Also, the team that I support, Delhi, they really messed it up in the end. So that also
yeah.
played a factor.
Dude,
But this
I,
IPL,
I, I
this
remember
IPL,
reading your tweets and going like, "Wow, this is personal for this guy." Like because you were getting very agitated after they played
yeah,
towards the
because
end.
see,
Yeah,
Ricky Ponting, like people say Ricky Ponting is a great coach because Delhi reached the qualifiers for 3 seasons in a row, but they don't realize he keeps on making the same mistakes tactically in every IPL. Like It's the same template. He will
Yeah.
send a overseas batter who can't play spin at number 3 in a critical game, then lose, and then everything
Yeah.
else is like we tried hard but we couldn't win. It's like you keep making the same mistake.
Akash has already said Shoaib has released only a 3-minute video. Lamau, dude's really sad. Oh man, I feel for Shoaib Akhtar. But also, dude, look at the promptness of the guy, man. I mean, this is a guy who's he's committed to content. I mean,
Yeah.
he went through a surgery. He's come out. He's more consistent than anybody else out there. I mean, what Akash Chopra? Where's your video? Ashwin, where's your video? What are you doing? You're not playing the tournament anymore. Where's your video about this? Come on, you guys need to catch up. Much like Delhi Capitals in the last
I think
IPL.
Shoaib Akhtar is scarier in videos than on the field. I mean, that's you would not want to be like the subject of Shoaib Akhtar's anger on a video
By the
than
way,
on the field.
so Shoaib Akhtar was once he was once reviewing this PSL theme song and said,
Yeah.
क्या गाना बनाया आप लोगों ने? मेरे बच्चे डरा दिए. He's
I
like,
think
"तुम
Shoaib
लोग
Akhtar is
इतना खराब काम
basically
करते हो, मेरे बच्चे
Yeah.
डरा दिए." Laughing at that.
Shoaib Akhtar is Kamal R Khan with a little more credibility, is what I think. That's
Yeah.
that's who he is.
And some
Yeah,
Punjabi. And some Punjabi.
Yeah. Okay, everybody watching, I'm going to try and do streams for India, Australia, probably one of the latter matches, India, South Africa, and of course the World Cup. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Hopefully, I'll do one where we might get money for everybody. Let's see. I'm trying. Let's see. It'll be great. So we'll get almost 200 rupees per person. It'll be amazing, guys. And keep
Wow.
the super chats coming. Thanks a lot for all your support. And
What
Sridhar,
is it,
man,
Sorabh? Is it the Chai Point presents World Cup
No.
analysis?
This is listen. Okay. You know what? I'm hustling like I'm gonna fucking say it right here. If anybody wants to sponsor the stream, just sponsor it. I'm not stopping you. Give me your money. Come on, okay? I'm in touch with a
You
few
mean to say, Sorabh,
brands.
that you
Yeah.
need one more income stream? Is that what you?
No, I just, yeah, you know what? Listen, I honestly, I do these streams right now because I enjoyed these weird comments and I enjoy talking to people like you guys. And Sridhar, listen, man, you know what? That stream that we did with the Chirag, you, me, and Bhaskar, that was like some craziness. I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking to Gurkirat as well. We've never spoken until here today. This is great. So I thoroughly enjoy doing this nonsense because it just makes the viewing so much more like you feel like, in a roundabout way that you are in a room with your friends or so-called friends. And you're like, hey, let's do this. Yeah. So I thanks a lot for your time, man. I really appreciate both of you giving me so much time. It really means a lot to me. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So thanks to Sridhar, thanks to
Thanks,
Gurkira,
guys.
thanks to Jamie Alter, and thanks a lot to Shoaib Akhtar for putting out a video very quickly. I'll see you guys soon. Love you all. Marry me. Goodbye. Ending the stream now.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second. I should end broadcast first.